Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Sunday, January 16th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be doing a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate. It is a 3-game main slate, so a very small slate overall, and then my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight. But without further ado, we'll get into a recap of yesterday's picks. So we're going to start off on the DraftKings side. At point guard, we had Kobe White, $5,200, looking for 26 points out of him. Obviously, there was no Lonzo Ball, no Zach LaVine last night, so Kobe White was looking pretty good after he had that news. He got to 34.75, so he was a hit yesterday. And then at shooting guard, we had my boy Ben McLemore, $4,800, looking for 24 points out of him. Unfortunately, this was not a good day for him by any means. He only got to 14.5. He was a miss. He played 28 minutes, only 3 for 9 shooting from the field, not a lot else besides the scoring yesterday. Then at small forward, we had Alex Burks, $5,800, looking for 29 points out of him. He played big minutes once again yesterday and played very well. He got to 41.25, so he was a very good hit yesterday. Then at power forward, we had DeAndre Hunter, $3,000, looking for 15 points out of him. He got to 17.25, so he was a hit as well. And then lastly, at center, I just put whoever ends up starting in place of Jakob Poeltl yesterday, whether it was Drew Eubanks or Jock Landale. It ended up being Jock Landale. $3,100 for looking for like 15, 16 points out of him. He pretty much got double that at 30.25, so he was a really good hit yesterday as well. So 4 out of 5 on the DraftKings side. And then on the FanDuel side, we had Kobe White once again, $5,200, exact same price on both sides, so we were looking for 26 points out of him once again. 33.1 points, it was a very good hit once again. Shooting guard, Alex Burks, pretty simple here, once again, $5,900, looking for 29, 30 points out of him. He got to 39.8, so he was a good hit as well. Then at small forward, I had DeMar DeRozan, $8,000, looking for 40 points out of him. He got to 44.1, so he was a hit. And then as power forward, we had Keldon Johnson, $5,000. Looking for 25 points out of him, he got to 22.7. He was a miss, but probably not one that killed you overall. He just didn't have the best game overall. He was like 4 out of 8 shooting from the field, had a decent amount of points, just not a lot of other stuff yesterday. And then last but not least, at that center position, Julius Randle, $8,200, looking for 41 points out of him. He got to 43.7. He was a hit. The biggest thing about Julius Randle yesterday is he always plays well against the Hawks. He didn't play as well as he typically does against them, but still paid off for his price tag. So 4 out of 5 on the FanDuel side as well, and that Keldon Johnson pick probably did not hurt you too bad yesterday. So if you went with both these cores on both sides, you probably did pretty well yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for tonight's slate. So once again, it is a 3-game main slate that will be starting at 6 o'clock Eastern time. There is one afternoon game as well between the Phoenix Suns and the Detroit Pistons. The Suns are without Frank Kaminsky, Abdul Nader, Dario Saric, and then Cam Johnson is questionable. And then for the Pistons, Jeremy Grant, Frank Jackson, Isaiah Livers, Rodney McGruder are all listed as out, and Kelly Olynyk is doubtful today, which is actually an upgrade for him, but still unlikely to play once again today. Then moving over to the main slate, we got the Houston Rockets, who are only without John Wall, so they're essentially all the way healthy because John Wall hasn't played all season. Then for the Sacramento Kings, we got Tristan Thompson and Woodard both out once again, and then Damon Jones and Rashawn Holmes both listed as questionable to play. We'll see if they're in tonight or not. Obviously, the best news here is this is the first game on the slate, so we'll know that news right away. Then we move over to the 2 later games, which are at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So we have the Utah Jazz, who are without Jared Butler, Elijah Hughes, and Hassan Whiteside. And then Udoka Azubuike is listed as questionable to play. So they're pretty much back to full strength for the Utah Jazz. You know, Rudy Gobert returns tonight. Rudy Gay returns tonight as well. Then on the opposite side of the ball, we have the Denver Nuggets, who are without Cancard, JaMychal Green, and Jamal Murray. And then Austin Rivers, questionable to play. He had been dealing with an illness and did miss last night. Bol is listed as a game-time decision, but probably not in the rotation either way. Then we move down to the Golden State Warriors, who are without Steph Curry tonight and Draymond Green. Obviously, James Wiseman has been out for the whole season so far, so the biggest one here is going to be Steph Curry being out. Probably makes Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins all look better. Some of the bench guys look better as well. Whoever ends up being that 5th starter in the lineup, since I do assume that Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Kevon Looney are the 4 locked in stone at this point in time. Gary Payton dealing with a back issue, questionable to play. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. And then for the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're without Jordan McLaughlin. Jalen Noel is listed as questionable to play, and then Bolmaro is a game-time decision. We'll see if those guys end up playing or not, but more depth pieces than anything at this point in time. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. Not a lot out there, but as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups down in the comments below, so definitely be sure to check that out throughout the day. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Jordan Poole, $5,400, looking for 27 points out of him. Obviously, no Steph Curry tonight. Currently have him projected for 28 points, which is pretty much in line with what he's averaging on the season. It's a good matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are not the best defensive team in the world, so there is a little bit of upside for more as well. Then at shooting guard, we're going to go Bones Highland, $3,600, had the best game of his career last night, and a lot of that was in blowout run, but if Austin Rivers doesn't play once again tonight, should see a couple extra minutes. Just a cheap pay down option. Looking for 18 points out, and got projected for 19 points tonight. And then in terms of other cheap pay down options, at small forward, we got Andre Iguodala, $3,700. Looking for 18, 19 points out of him, averaging just under 18 on the season. Currently having projected for 20 points tonight. Should play a little bit bigger role without Steph Curry, without Draymond Green out there. Should see sizable minutes, maybe get some assists, provide in multiple categories, and have a decent little game. Then at power forward, we have another pay down option in Jeff Green, $3,800. Looking for 19 points out of him, averaging 18 on the season. Currently having projected for about 19, 20 points tonight, so definitely a guy that is a cheap pay down option, opens up some value elsewhere. Then last but not least, at the center position, we got Christian Wood, $8,000, looking for 40 points out of him, averaging 37 on the season. We've seen him and this Rockets team kind of be up and down all year, but playing against the Sacramento Kings tonight should be a favorable matchup for him, and a matchup that he did succeed in the last time out as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you'll have $25,500 remaining, $8,500 per player. So definitely some room if you want to pay up for 2 studs and then another value to go along with them. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely something you can do as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So at point guard, we're going to start off with Kevin Porter, $5,800, looking for 29 points out, averaging 27.5 on this season. And Kevin Porter Jr. has been very, very up and down all season. So some nights you'll get the 18-point games out of him. Some nights you get the 40-point games out of him. Some nights you get the 32-point games out of him. So it's a little bit risky pick. It's a good matchup against the Kings once again, like I talked about with Christian Wood on the DraftKings side. Did very well against the Kings the last time out as well. So once again, at $5,800, looking for 29 points out of him. Currently having projected for about 29, 30 points tonight. Then at shooting guard, we got Jordan Poole, $4,900, so a pretty good price tag here. Looking for about 24, 25 points out of him. Averaging almost 27 on the season. Got him currently projected for 27 points tonight. And, without Steph Curry out there on the court, if Klay Thompson's not playing bigger minutes, there is a lot of upside for Jordan Poole on tonight's slate. And then at small forward, we got Jae'Sean Tate, who's actually been playing rather well as of late. $5,800, looking for 29 points out, averaging just over 27 on the season. Great matchup against the Sacramento Kings once again, a matchup that he did have success in the last time out as well. Don't have any hesitations going to Jae'Sean Tate today, $5,800. Looks like a reasonable price tag for him, and I currently have him projected for about 29, 30 points tonight. Then at power forward, it seems like we're loading up on these Houston guys, not trying to do that on purpose, but just some of the better values that are on the FanDuel side today. So we got Christian Wood, $7,300, looking for about 36, 37 points out of him, averaging about 35.5 points on the season so far. As I talked about on the DraftKings side, a favorable matchup for him against the Sacramento Kings, one that he did have some success in the last game out. Definitely has a ton of upside tonight. Currently having projected for about 38, 39 points tonight on the FanDuel side. So definitely one of the better power forward values on tonight's slate overall. Then last but not least, we got Marvin Bagley, $5,600. Not like crazy about the price tag. You're looking for 28 points out of him. He's been playing sizable minutes as of late. Maybe if they get Rashawn Holmes and Damon Jones back, that kind of cuts into his playing time. But if it doesn't, if these guys don't come back, Marvin Bagley is going to look pretty solid once again. Currently having projected for about 27, 28 points. Definitely has a little bit of upside for more, as he has been playing rather well in recent games and getting bigger minutes as well, which is something, you can't always predict with Marvin Bagley. But at the same time, the Kings aren't very good. He's playing rather well, so at least he's helping the team out. Plus, they're trying to increase his trade value just a little bit more as well as we get closer to that NBA trade deadline. But if you go with these 5 players on the FanDuel side, you have $30,600 remaining, just over $7,600 per player. So if you want to pay up for a stud, you can probably do so. You can maybe pay up for kind of 2, or one higher price player and then find some values as well. It's definitely going to be an interesting slate. And as I mentioned, maybe we get some value that opens up throughout the day, but it might be pretty tight on a 3-game slate like tonight. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, January 16th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. Heck, if you want to talk a little bit of Super Draft, JC Money Design and myself will be going live at 4 o'clock Central Time today over on his channel. Talk a little bit of Super Draft main slate. It's a small slate over there as well, so going to be an interesting one today. But if you're into Super Draft, if you're looking to get into Super Draft, if you're into NBA DFS and you want to play on Super Draft or are already playing on Super Draft, definitely would recommend checking that show out as well. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups down in the comments below, as well as that updated core prior to lock, half hour to an hour before lock, unless there's any major changes in that time period as well. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. I know fantasy football season's kind of over at this point in time, but we'll be talking a little bit of dynasty here in the offseason, as well as some NFL draft prospects as we get closer to the NFL draft. Then with that being said, if you are a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.